Well, I've got a Cambodia 101 story for you. I wanted to go to an art gallery opening at the factory tonight. So I allow myself 45 minutes to get there by Tuk Tuk, walk out onto the street out the front. There's a Tuk Tuk.
Okay.
Kia ora, bro. I want to go to the factory. Do you know where it is? Can you take me? Here's the address written down on a piece of paper, 1159 National Highway number 2. Yeah. How much will that cost? $7. I thought, okay, you know, it's a little
too high.
It's a little bit out of the way, but what the hell, you know.
May I ask?
Yeah. What?
Why aren't you using Pass app?
Well, I don't. Really, I just use my smartphone as a camera, and for social media. I really don't know anything about how it works. So,
Oh, you don't know how to operate that particular app, is what you're telling me.
I don't know how to operate my cell phone.
I highly recommend. Well, we can get into it later. I have a bunch of reasons why you need to get someone to show you how to do that. It's quite easy. Go ahead.
So I jump in and I sort of show him, you know, I've looked at a map, I know the area where it is, so I point, you know, go down Prince Sihanouk Boulevard, past the Independence Monument, just carry on past there till it'll take you right there. It runs parallel to Hun Sen Boulevard. And the guy sort of grunts and then drives off straight down 184 Street, doesn't turn on to Prince Sihanouk, and I say, look man, I'm pretty sure it's out that way. No reply. You know, my fault, I don't speak Cambodian or Khmer. He doesn't speak English. So we go quite a few blocks and, you know, like I know that we're going in the wrong direction, so I just tell him to stop. You're just not going the right way. And there's a guy standing on the side of the road, so we ask him, and he doesn't know, and it's obvious that the tuk-tuk driver doesn't know. I give him 10,000 real, cross the road and start walking back, flag down another tuk-tuk driver, go through the same process again. Yeah. Then he calls up his, I don't know, mate or office or whatever, and he talks to him. I've shown him the address, which he doesn't seem to understand.
Very possible.
Yeah. And so then he hands me the phone to the guy who speaks good English, and so we talk, and it's pretty non-committal, you know, $10. So I think, okay, well, yeah, they sort of must have an idea of where it is if they're going to make me want to pay that much. I mean, it's only $12.50 to catch a bus to Ho Chi Minh City. And
no shit.
So
if you did this with Pass app, they would get the location delivered to them when they took the job on a map, and then it would probably be, in my estimation, unless they moved, about $3. Go ahead.
Yeah. So off we go, and we actually be going in the right direction, but we're going for a very, very long way. It's after dark in an area of the city I've never been in, so I feel a little bit vulnerable.
I know someone who got kidnapped recently there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So we go for a long way, for a long time, and then I just tell him to stop and say, look, we're going to go back. You know, we got to abort this journey. And he doesn't really understand. He calls his mate again and I talk to his mate in English, and I said, look, we've gone a long way and we seem to have gone nowhere, so I just want to go back to where I came from. Tell him where I want to go, and then I give the phone back to the driver. The driver talks to him, he says it's okay. We're on this busy 4-lane divided highway, so he does a U-turn, of course, and then we proceed back along our way. And finally arrive, not exactly where I wanted to be, but close enough. And then he says $20. I said, man, I'm not going to pay you $20 because you never took me where I wanted to go. Lucky he didn't understand me. So I just gave him 10 and walked off. But the bonus is I shot the ride back, which was 28 minutes. So I got a video. It was 90 minutes altogether in tuk-tuks to go nowhere. Missed the gallery opening. And how's life up in Siem Reap?
Right now I'm in Battambang. I'm just looking at the map. Yeah, I think you need to learn how to use Pass app. You need to go download that application. Trust me, I'm steering you right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll write it down.
You could probably just go download it and then open it, and you're going to understand how to use it. If I was there in like 3 minutes, I could teach you it. 2 minutes. And the whole ride they would know exactly where it is 90% of the time. Sometimes they can't read a map also. Yeah. But it would have been, I'm guessing, around $3 to $4.
Yeah. Yeah, I was allowing 5. I thought.
Also, I know someone who got kidnapped. You have much less chance of getting set up or something really fucked up happening.
Yeah.
Because someone can just drive you to somewhere where there's nobody there, and they have accomplices. I've heard of it happening. Yeah. So the Pass app's a lot safer.
Yeah. That was the problem. I was in a part of town I didn't know, and it was after dark.
Very dangerous.
I was watching.
Now, mind you, before COVID, I wouldn't have said it was a problem, but because of COVID. Yeah. I talked to this guy today here in town who is one of the Americans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A deported criminal, killed a lot of people in LA and stuff. We're sort of friends. It was actually fascinating today talking to him because he's a Crip.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And I have to say, the guy is not educated, but I think the guy is actually extremely smart. He's just a fucking ghetto rat, though,
Street smart, yeah.
Yeah, and I ran and he can speak Khmer, he's Khmer. Yeah. And I ran all these different things that I think about here. Like, I used to go to the poor neighborhoods in Battambang because there's some really interesting areas to film. Incredibly fucked up and poor here and strange. But I said, since COVID, I didn't go. What do you think of that? He goes, man, you're exactly correct. It's fucking dangerous now. It's not the same. Yeah, even in Battambang.
Yeah, I know there have been a lot of attacks on foreigners in Kampot. But generally, rule of thumb, it's guy goes to a bar, drinks too much, walking around the city, obviously drunk after 1 a.m.
That's what happened with the guy that got kidnapped. Completely.
Yeah. And the police there were really good. The group of foreigners went to the chief of police in Kampot, and he basically said, well, we don't want this sort of thing, you tell us. And then they formed a vigilante squad, and I think there were some German guys dressed up as women walking around at night on their own trying to entrap them. But the cops got some of them, and they were like from villages. So obviously,
that makes sense.
Very poor, Yes. But the indignity of it is that with some of these people, they robbed them, they took their stuff, but they had sticks, and so they beat them.
Not surprised to some degree.
Yeah.
I could talk a lot about
opportunistic amateurs. It's the same everywhere. You have to have your wits about you. The second you lower your guard...
it made me think maybe I'm not as dumb as I think I am. Because some shit's hard to understand here.
Yeah. Well, here's my theory. Cambodians don't know how to say no. So if you put a Cambodian in a position where they're going to have...
can't.
Yeah, if you put them in a position where they're going to have to say no, like I did, do you know whether it says, can you take me there? They're not going to say no.
No, that's correct.
Yeah, they'll say $7. And I mean, that's gone on. Even the French back in the 19th century, they'd say to the king, we want you to do this, or you have to do this. And well, the king wouldn't say no, but he wouldn't do what they wanted.
It's very Asian also. I've heard that about Japan also.
Yeah. I think it's got something to do with face.
I do too.
Yeah, not losing face. But
it's something we can't understand, but it's just a given, perhaps,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so simple, isn't it? Just say no.
I mean, I pretty much 80% think, 80% of the time you're going to be right, not 100.
Yeah.
But much more than in the West, it's going to be like that. That's my thought,
And what did you want to talk about?
Oh, I don't know, man. Just being tired of being here, or trying to think, is there some kind of project we could do, or shit like that, you know.
Well, there's starting to be good signs coming out of Vietnam. I'm going down to the embassy on Thursday. I could get back as early as January. I was thinking it would be June, but they're starting to... Ho Chi Minh City wants to open, and they're pressuring the government, you know, to let them have people back in there. I think it's going to cost a hell of a lot of money to get in.
For what, the visa?
Well, there'll be the visa, there'll be the medical certificate, you know, the vaccination certificate. There'll be the airfare, you know, it could be as much as 300. I mean, I love it here. I've really settled in well here. I love the neighbourhood, and it's very easy, very, very easy to live here. You know, so many people speak English, and you know, people are laid back, very friendly, sweet-natured. I'll go to Vietnam, see what they give me, how long they give me, and then should I like extend my visa here, so I have a backstop, so that say that if I go to Vietnam and have to leave, you know, I have my sort of residency here, so I can just basically walk back in, no problem, you know, without having to go through the, you know, 1 month long rigmarole. I'm thinking, you know, it could be up to a total $1,000 US to get back into Vietnam. That's what I'm planning.
Obviously it's going to go down as time goes on, or one would hope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll open up, and it'll open up quickly. But at the very...
I'm just kind of bored. Well, I don't even know if I can put into words everything right now. Sometimes one of the things I think of is, I wish we could partner up with a bunch of people and have our own space where we do something.
Yeah. And where would that...
What do you think of that idea?
Where would that be? Like Battambang or...
No, either Siem Reap or Phnom Penh, I guess.
Yeah. I like Phnom Penh. And it must be easy to... In fact, you know, I met this French artist who's just opening a gallery in a couple of weeks, just up the road from here. Stan Bouchard. Good guy, seems like a good guy. And he's on 240, Street 240, for 2000.
What? Hold on. One moment, please. What?
You've been a bad boy, Max.
What?
Nothing.
No, I'm just dealing with the girlfriend here. I don't know. I'm just questioning what the fuck I'm doing, but it's complex, you know. I really need to just get focused on editing, I guess, and recording. I'm just finding it hard to stay in the house on the computer for some reason.
Yeah. Are you going out, Matt?
You know, I go out. Sometimes it's not even social, just for walks. I do socialize a bit. I've just had an issue staying in the house with the computer. Maybe I need a partner to work with.
You know,
for example, I usually play guitar like a half hour, an hour, hour and a half. And then I got together with this guy that could play okay. We played 8 hours. It was much more effortless because I have a company. Yeah. Kind of makes sense, right? Yeah.
There's like indie type recording studios around Phnom Penh. You know, I'd actually made contact with one. I wanted to go down there and shoot some footage, but then this whole COVID thing happened, and you know, I haven't talked to them since. You know, because I just didn't want to go out and didn't want to be mingling with people and tightly enclosed spaces. So, but yeah, space would be a good idea. You know, good place to start experimental film off. Phnom Penh.
No, I mean some place that's like a hub, like a, you know, a gallery, a cafe, or I'm not saying I'd want to manage it or run it, but like, I don't know, man, just some kind of our own thing, but with other people too, you know.
Yeah, it's a good Phnom Penh.
Crossing my mind.
Phnom Penh's a good city. There's a lot of cool people here.
There's a lot of a mix. I mean, I had a lot of bad experiences with the music scene there with the foreigners, but that's a real cutthroat scene, so.
I generally avoid expats. I think they're more trouble than they're worth, a lot of them.
Big time.
Not you.
No, I get it. There's a lot of scumbags, though.
Well, scumbags and, you know, people that are just sort of come here to retire, and they just sit around and drink beer all day and listen to 70s music, go to girly bars at night. They're sort of waiting to die.
Yeah, I get it. I know the type. Trust me, I've been around it too much. Yeah. All of it.
But you deal with the local people. They're cool.
But you can't speak the language, so that's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's hard to form a real friendship with somebody.
Yeah.
Lately, I've had a couple times where I've been hanging out with some different Khmer people that can speak English good, and it's been interesting.
Like
including gangbang.
I got into that scene in Chicago for quite a long time, actually. And
what do you mean?
Well, the street scene, sort of low-life gangster scene.
Because you as an artist, or what, or just hanging out, or?
I was making a film. I made one would say, I embedded myself with them, and I found they were cool. And once they were like your friend, I found them good. I like them. I consider them my friends. I mean, I remember one of them actually said, about this gang you're running with, Mark. And I said, what gang? And she said, us. I said, oh wow, that's great. I'm one of them. And just learning the whole street smart thing was really, really good. And just sort of watching, observing, and then picking up on it, and the whole language that they used and the way they communicated was incredible. I mean, they didn't need smartphones. Just by whistling and stuff, if there was like an undercover cop or something around, they must have learned it on the plantation, speaking codes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I remember once, I was standing with one of the guys. He said, there was a drunken guy walking down the street. He said, see that guy? I said, that drunk? I said, yeah. He said, he's an undercover cop pretending to be drunk. He wants us to rob him so he can arrest us. They knew. They knew what was going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you sound like you're pretty content down there in Phnom Penh, huh? Not too bad.
I'm settled. I'm very settled, and that was,
Get an apartment or what?
No, I'm not doing that because the plan has always been to go back to Ho Chi Minh, but it took me a year just to stabilise here because, I had done no planning, I'd done no research on Cambodia. I was really, really blindsided. And, first I had to figure out how it worked, what the cost of things were. That's why I went to Kep, small community, figured that out, went to Pol Pot, too many expats for me, and then came up here. Once I figured out, okay, I can survive here, given that I'm paying rent still in Ho Chi Minh. And since March, I've been pretty stable.
Did they give you a reduction in the rent at all?
Every place I've stayed in has...
I mean Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, my landlady's great. And she's got 10 apartments, but she's only renting 2 out. So, she's had to go to the bank to get loans to keep surviving. And I want to keep that. It's a great apartment. I love the alleyway.
What part of town is it?
It's in District 1, Kojiang. I don't know if you know that.
How much is the apartment?
Yeah, about 400 a month. 300 a month. I forget now.
How much should they reduce it now?
300? About half, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Well,
that to me is a little expensive. Must be a nice place.
It's still a strain, but I can manage it, but I just have to be careful. I see lots of things here I'd like to buy, and I just think, well, I can't. And I need to, I need a new camera, a new laptop. I need to upgrade all my equipment.
I hear you.
Well, that's just completely out of the question now till 2023. It's going to be all of 2022 is just going to be recovering financially. And so just see what happens.
Crazy.
Okay.
Strange times, man. What can I say?
So you didn't go through with your plan to go to the Balkans?
Not yet, but I may do something like that at some point. But I'm thinking stuff so kind of rough, everywhere. Maybe it's not a good time.
Yeah.
No, it's not a plan yet. I get frustrated, but I think is the problem where I am or be.
Yeah, you may get frustrated anywhere, so you just got to barrel down and, work your way through it, really.
Yep, right.
And I guess it wouldn't be practical for you to take your girlfriend to the Balkans anyway, would it?
Be pretty tough. That's a very involved topic that I don't want to talk about right now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I know, talking to Vietnamese people, they have a hell of a job getting visas. Like if you were a single person and wanted to go and visit a relative in France or the USA, those places that could freely walk in and invade the countries and take them over and kill lots of people and take money and, be corrupt. But then these people they exploited and brutalized want to go there for some reason. No, they can't get in. It's just so hypocritical. I mean, do you see that, Max? I mean, do you see that? The more I look at the West, just the worse it looks. From this point of view.
I agree with you. I don't disagree.
Okay.
I was hoping the Chinese were going to be better than the West, but I think they're going to be just as bad.
Yeah. Well, there's...
Humans are fucking rough creatures, man. Not everybody, but as a group, pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I think ordinary people are fine, generally. Who just live their lives. But
more of them are good anyway.
It's the people who want power who are the problem.
Yep, I agree 1,000%. And this is a topic I could expound on greatly.
But neither of us...
Everything you just said I agree with. But I think it's a universal thing through history and internationally. It's not just the Americans and the English, the French, and the Germans. They were horrible, but so were a lot of other people.
Yeah. Oh, I saw something. I heard something in Vietnam. And they said the Americans were bad, but the Chinese were worse. They were talking about...
I'm not surprised.
They were talking about war, of course.
If you look at the history, it makes sense they'd say that.
Yeah.
It's the governments, not the people, that's more the problem.
Right. I agree 100%.
Power seekers. And that goes back to the conversation we had about the gallery people, or whatever, the people that were fucking you over in New Zealand.
That's all behind me now.
You think there's any punishment big enough to do to Stalin now? Cover what those guys did? Is there any punishment that's big enough to suit the crime? I don't think so.
Yeah. It's always too late anyway, isn't it? It's after it's been done.
Yep.
I mean, there's this thing going on with the Ukraine. I mean, the problem is that there's so much Russia and China bashing from the American government.
To tell you the truth, I think they deserve it, but so do the Americans.
Yeah. I mean,
they're all bad. All three are bad.
Yeah. Well, they're all cut from the same cloth, aren't they?
Same shit. Everybody's trying to get money, power.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe the answer is to try to lead a real small life. But I do sort of believe in the Nietzschean idea, will to power. Everybody's got some drive towards power. It's natural.
Well, that's why I like being in these Buddhist countries, like I like that idea of the small life and to, I hope I can be improved by the experience, of the best of what is to be on offer here.
The gangbanger guy was saying, he's saying he couldn't work as hard as the Khmer. He's Khmer, but he's Khmer American, even though he's from the ghetto.
Yeah.
He said these people got to work so hard, you just wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Because he knows I don't know as much as he does, because he can speak Khmer and everything.
Here, this place here. I think. Oh no. Where are we?
But there's a reason people are doing it. They need the money.
Yeah, yeah.
Because rice farming's not easy either. We're a bit in a bubble because we have money.
Yeah, yeah.
Big time.
Lotus eaters. Yeah, they're out there. But what can you do?
No, there's nothing. You can just try to be kind to people. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I certainly try.
Pretty rough.
Okay, Max. I might leave it there.
I don't know. Keep me posted on what your plans are, what you're working on, or anything. All right.
Yeah, it's good to catch up.
So do you want to...
What I'm doing now for the next month is I'll be like looking at going back to Vietnam. Now, whether it will happen in January or March or June, I still don't know.
I'd wait for the land borders to open.
That will be a lot longer. That will be much, much longer. Hold on a sec, I've just got to take care of something here. Okay, I'm back.
Anyways, I'd like to see you, man. You're somebody that doesn't piss me off at all, so...
Are you thinking of coming down this way at all?
It's a possibility. I don't know right now.
Yeah, no, that would be great, Max. It'd be good to hang out. I mean, I really, I've been pretty socially isolated for over 18 months.
I just met somebody who's a good artist, but they're not going to be here long. I mean, I like to be around artists.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll talk again soon, I hope, one of these days, all right?
Yep,
Keep
okay.
me posted, all right?
Take care, Max. Good to talk.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into my world. And if you did, please subscribe to this channel by clicking on the icon at the lower right-hand corner of your screen. When you do that, a little bell image icon may come up too. Click that also. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And there will be plenty to come in a wide variety of formats. Is this the National Museum? So thanks again. Okay, stop. Thank you.